So, you want to talk about what happened yesterday, or last week, or maybe even a few years ago? Perfect. You're in exactly the right spot. Today, we're cracking the code on the simple past. This is the key to telling pretty much any story that's already finished.
And hey, here's a promise. This whole topic, which can seem kind of complicated, really just boils down to 3 simple rules. Seriously, if you master these 3, you've mastered the simple past. So, you ready? Let's jump in.
All right, rule number 1. This is the big one. It's all about how verbs change when we talk about the past. Just think of it like this. All the verbs split into 2 teams, the rule followers and, well, the rule breakers. On the left side, we've got the regulars. These guys are predictable, they're easy. You just add ed to the end. So play becomes played, watch becomes watched. Simple. But on the right, we've got the rebels, the irregular verbs. They don't follow any rules. They just transform into something totally new. Go becomes went, eat becomes ate, and see becomes saw. These unique past forms, that's what we call V2.
Now, don't let those rebels scare you. Honestly, the only tricky part of this whole thing is just getting used to them. Once you can spot an irregular verb, you'll see that the rest of the system is unbelievably consistent.
Okay, let's move on to Rule 2 and introduce the hero of our story, the word didn't. This little word is a total game changer for making negative sentences. When didn't shows up, it basically does all the hard work for us.
And here is the absolute key. When you use didn't to say something didn't happen, the main verb gets to relax. It goes right back to its original simple form, what we call V1. Why? Because didn't is already carrying the past tense signal, so the main verb doesn't have to. Just look at this. You'd say, I watched a movie. But in the negative, it becomes, I didn't watch. See that? Watched went right back to watch. It's the same for the rebels. I went home becomes, I didn't go home. You would never ever say didn't watched or didn't went. That's the magic of didn't.
So if you remember one thing, remember this. Didn't carries the entire weight of the past tense. As soon as it's in the sentence, the main verb is totally free.
And now for our third and final rule. And you might have already guessed it. The pattern just keeps going, this time for questions. For questions, the word did steps up and takes the lead. The rule couldn't be simpler. To ask a question about the past, you just pop did at the very beginning of the sentence. And just like its partner didn't, when did is there, the main verb stays in its original, simple V1 form.
Let's see it in action. Did you call me? Not called. Did she eat breakfast? Not ate. Did they go to school? Not went. See? The word did does all the past tense work for the whole question. It's such a clean, simple system. Okay, so we've covered our 3 big rules. Now let's pull it all together and see how it works in one simple chart.
This table just lays it all out perfectly. Look at the positive column. The verb is in its V2 form, like finished or stayed. But now look at the negative and question columns. The second didn't or did shows up, that verb snaps right back to its V1 form. Finish, stay. And this pattern works for every single subject every single time.
All right, enough theory. It's time to put what you've learned into practice. Let's see if you can figure out these sentences about what happened yesterday. Okay, first one. Yesterday I visit my grandmother. It's a positive sentence, and visit is a regular verb, so it becomes visited. I visited my grandmother. Nice and easy. Next up, a negative one. We not go to the party. Remember our negative hero, didn't? When it arrives, the verb stays in V1. So the answer is didn't go. We didn't go to the party.
And now for a question. Do you see the doctor? For questions, we know did takes the lead and the verb stays simple. What do you think? Yep, it's did you see? Perfect.
Ooh, here comes a rebel. Robin, buy a new car. This is a positive statement, so we need that special V2 form of buy, and that is bought. Robin bought a new car.
Let's do another negative. She not like the food. We need our hero didn't, and the verb like just stays the same. So we get didn't like, easy peasy.
And for the last one, a WH question. Where you stay. The pattern is exactly the same here. Did comes in to help out, and stay stays in V1. So the answer is, did you stay? Where did you stay? See? You've got this.
Okay, you've totally nailed the mechanics. So for a final challenge, let's really sharpen that understanding. We're going to look at two sentences that seem kind of similar, but are actually fundamentally different.
So, on the left, we have I am not a student. This is about a state of being, right? On the right, I didn't study. This is about an action. What is the real core difference in what these two sentences are telling us? Here it is. The first sentence describes a state, a condition that isn't true. The second one describes an action, something that wasn't done. And our whole simple past system with did and didn't is all about those actions.
And that leaves us with a really interesting question. We know how to talk about past actions, but what about past states? How do you say things like, I was sick, or they were happy? Well, that is exactly where we're going next. You ready for it?